to kill Tok Mong fade away, the novel system finally released me back to the original world. After that, I spent the whole night flipping through ancient books, determined to find a way to break the rules of the Heavenly Tao. Unfortunately, everything was in vain. The Heavenly Tao is the Heavenly Tao. In the end, there was no way to break it. However, just when I was at my wit's end, things unexpectedly took a turn for the better. That night, I fell into a dream in a daze. Suddenly, a booming voice filled with pressure echoed in my dream. The voice naturally claimed to be the Heavenly Tao. I scoffed and said, "I've given up on killing Tok Mong. Why are you still intruding into my dreams?" But the words that followed from the Heavenly Tao shocked me. The Heavenly Tao you encountered before was merely a foreign path that invaded this realm. I am the true Heavenly Tao of this world. I have existed in this world for a long time and have long since become the master of the heavens and the earth here. However, 100 years ago, a force calling itself the novel system suddenly appeared and broke the void, taking advantage of the opportunity to suppress me, becoming the new Heavenly Tao of this world. His tone was filled with unwillingness. Since he took over the Heavenly Tao, the laws I had established have been destroyed. From then on, the gods are no longer gods, and the mortal realm has fallen into chaos. I have hidden underground for 100 years, seeking someone who can overthrow this Heavenly Tao. And that person is you. After hearing this, I felt a bit disheartened. But if I can't even kill Tok Mong, how can I overthrow this Heavenly Tao for you? I have a way, you must listen carefully. After hearing the words of the Heavenly Tao, my eyes suddenly lit up, and I opened them wide. I was awake. Now that I was awake, it was time to carry out the will of heaven and eliminate the aberration. I borrowed the power of the Heavenly Tao to directly tear apart the void as it instructed and then traveled to a strange world. In this world, the skyscrapers reached the sky, and everyone wore strange clothing, dressed oddly. Each person held a bright square piece of metal in their hands, not knowing what they were looking at or saying. I almost got lost in this bizarre world. However, no matter where I was, as long as I had money, things would be easy. I used the Jung-Chi jade I carried with me as payment, and immediately, a kind person helped me find the author of the novel titled Cold-Faced War God, Don't Run Away. That night, I flew directly before the author, named Lu Nan, startling her. A ghost. I disdainfully interrupted her. Stop screaming. I'm not a ghost. Then who are you? I am the emperor of the human race, Dong Dai. Lu Nan seemed a bit puzzled. Your name sounds somewhat familiar. Yes, I am the queen of the Dong Dai human race under your pen in Cold-Faced War God, Don't Run Away. I need you to change the ending of this story. After understanding the situation, Lu Nan quickly stopped being afraid of me. Not only was she no longer scared, but she was also somewhat curious. I never thought my novel could become reality, she said excitedly. However, I can't change the ending for you. Why not? Based on what you said, if you changed it, then in the end, Tok Mong and Lon Dao would both die by Her Majesty the Queen's sword, which would be too ambiguous. The readers would definitely criticize it. Moreover, you don't understand, the novel must be written this way to have flavor. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and looked at her incredulously. So, you're sacrificing the lives of my people to fulfill the ridiculous love story of a war god and a demoness? Oh my. The people pray to heaven for eternal love. Only by writing such a couple can it gain traction and become popular. After all, it's just a novel. Why do you care so much? I didn't even write that you die. You should be grateful. Hearing this author speak, I felt it was utterly absurd. Indeed, in her eyes, this was merely a love novel that could be easily written without much thought. But for me and the people of the human race, this was a matter of life and death, a matter of survival. Many of my citizens died because of this. Countless families were torn apart. Every word she lightly wrote was a life drenched in blood for the people. Seeing her indifferent expression, I completely abandoned the plan to persuade her. A person like her wouldn't understand, no matter how much I spoke. Only by letting her experience it herself would she realize just how terrifying everything truly was. So, I tore open the void, and with Lu Nan's piercing screams, I brought her back to our world. I wanted her to stand in the position of the common people, to see, hear, and feel. Once she experienced everything herself, I didn't believe she could still cling to her so-called couple. I borrowed the power of the Heavenly Tao and first brought Lu Nan back to Lamben in the 3rd year. That year, the Northwest experienced an earthquake. When the ground shook and the mountains collapsed, countless houses were destroyed. Those who couldn't escape were trapped under the fallen beams and bricks, and the entire city was buried in a grey mist in an instant, resulting in countless casualties among the people. Lu Nan, weak and unable to even run, was trapped under a collapsing house. A shovel fell from the wall, nearly slicing half her face off. In excruciating pain, blood and tears streaming down her face, she cried, my face. Help. Help, Dong Dai, please save me. I walked up to her and coldly said, does it hurt? Earlier, my citizens cried out in agony for the Earth Immortal just like this, but the Earth Immortal under your pen stripped himself of his immortal essence to save a woman, leaving him without the power to rescue the people, resulting in countless casualties among my citizens. Lu Nan was still unconvinced, but the Earth Immortal did it for the one he loved. What wrong did he do? Then tell me, where did the Earth Immortal's immortal essence come from? His essence was formed from the incense and faith of the millions of people. Even if he saved his beloved, he should also repay the gratitude of the people. Only then would he have the right to strip away his immortal essence. If these deities truly prioritized love above all and did not wish to protect the common people, then perhaps they should destroy their divine roots and return all the faith they harvested from the populace, allowing new gods to be born naturally. But those shameless deities greedily clung to the faith of the people while refusing to protect them. Is there anything good in this world? Was Lu Nan unconvinced? It didn't matter. After she was gradually suffocated under the collapsing house, I brought her spirit to Lam Ben in the 9th year. That year, a heavy snowstorm struck, the ground and rivers quickly froze, and the trees were buried under the snow, dying in the earth. The fishermen who relied on their trade couldn't even salvage the fish. That year, my people were starving and suffering everywhere. Lu Nan was trapped in the snowstorm, with no place to hide, and soon became frozen, her body gradually growing as cold as ice, without any breath. However, that was nothing compared to the suffering of the people during the year the Demon King invaded. To take revenge for the Demonis, the Demon King not only slaughtered the common people but also found joy in torturing them. All the men were tortured to death, and the women suffered even more. They were not only captured to serve the demon soldiers for their pleasure but, after being toyed with, met the same fate as the men. I threw Lu Nan into the city, and soon after, she was ruthlessly captured by the demon soldiers. When she witnessed the women around her being mercilessly toyed with and trampled upon, fear finally appeared on her face. She trembled, pleading with me, Dong Dai. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have neglected the people for the sake of writing a love story. Please save me, don't treat me like this. Her voice caught the attention of the demon soldiers. One ugly demon soldier dragged her into the crowd, and the others immediately pounced to strip her of her clothes. In an instant, countless filthy hands reached out toward her. When she experienced it all firsthand, Lu Nan finally understood the extreme tragedies her irresponsible pen had created. Help. Dong Dai, save me. Whatever you want me to change, I'll change it. I'll fix everything for you. Having achieved my purpose, I hurriedly rescued Lu Nan's spirit from the demon soldiers. This time, I could finally sit down and talk with her. When I brought her back to my world, I said seriously to Lu Nan, the world under your pen is no longer just cold lines on paper, it is a world filled with blood and flesh, very real. When disasters strike, we also feel pain. When calamities occur, we also cry. If we cannot avoid all these sufferings, then at the very least, you must give us a fair ending. The wicked must pay the price, and those who leave their positions will be punished. Everything must follow the rules established by the heavenly Tao, not just rely on love and force the awakened to cover their ears and blind their eyes as if they see nothing. When you are in a high position and write the fates of everyone, you can surely write whatever you want. But today, having experienced the hardships of the human race, you understand the despair of the beings. I hope you can give them justice. After saying this, I returned to my world. At the moment I stood on the throne, I suddenly saw the sky darken and then instantly brighten again. The invisible force that had always bound me dissipated as well. In my heart, I felt that the true heavenly Tao had returned. I immediately summoned someone to bring Tok Mong to me. This time, when my sword fell, I easily severed his head. Next, I sent Xiu Si Fong to bring the sealed demoness to me, and I continued to wield my sword to behead her as well. When these two heads were hung on the city wall, I finally succeeded in avenging my father and the innocent citizens who died tragically. From then on, new gods replaced the old ones, receiving the incense and faith of the people, and they also protected the populace. 100 years later, thanks to the respect and belief of the people, I ascended to become a deity. Due to my contributions to the world, I was nominated by the gods to be the ruler of the heavenly realm, the Queen Mother. After becoming the Queen Mother, the first heavenly decree I issued was, deities are not allowed to leave their positions arbitrarily, nor may they seek personal revenge under the guise of official duties. Those who violate this will be struck by lightning, stripped of their immortal essence, and cast down to the mortal realm. As a result, each deity had their own responsibilities, and the mortal world enjoyed eternal peace. Because I had once fought alongside the people to create deities in the battle to overthrow the old gods, I was later known as the God-destroying warrior. The end.